Great, I believe we are back. I'm sorry about that delay, but let's catch up and do the second part of why should I work in software engineering? We're so glad you asked this question, and thank you for joining and watching this video. So the reason why somebody would want to go into software engineering is pretty important because it's a journey that we will be on for a while if we decide to go along this route. And there, as with any journey, there will be a lot of fun parts along the journey, a lot of interesting learnings, but there will also be some challenges where we have difficulties to overcome, and maybe some parts of a topic we're studying are not as interesting, but we need to go through them and maybe even pass a test to master the skill. So it's good and really important to have a strong why on why we want to be in this kind of career and technology topic. So this why for you personally may be very different from my why. For me, it's just fun to solve interesting problems and interesting challenges, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that. And it's also something that grows over time. As a software engineer, you really learn something new pretty much every day. And a lot of times you learn many things every day. And as long as you have this desire to learn and enjoy learning, you'll have a great time in this field. Some of the benefits of working in software engineering are that we get to work from wherever we desire. We can basically choose our work. Okay, let's look at a different perspective on what a software engineer is. Similar to somebody who is an entrepreneur who starts a new business, as a software engineer, oftentimes you look for problems or challenges that you want to solve. And that can be a business problem that the company has that you work with, that you want to find a creative technological solution for. And it can also be something that's just not working right in a software system that you maintain. And you have to track down what the cause is of the malfunction and then find a good solution to fix it. So as you go down this route, it's one of the joys to discover that facing these technical challenges and solving them is actually a pretty fun thing to do. And when the way I look at it, it's a little bit acting like an inspector sometimes, or a police officer, an investigator, who looks for hints and indications on why something may work a certain way. You sometimes have to search through log files in efficient ways to find why something went wrong and how you can solve it. And you have to look for things that may be hidden. There's research involved that's part of this. So it's a pretty interesting thing to go on, and something that really doesn't grow old. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy facing new challenges. I look forward to next week when I'll work on something new, and I'm looking forward to actually getting it done and go on to the next thing. It's an interesting journey. So it can be fun tracking down these things that are not working as they should, and I want to invite you on the journey. So when you do that, as I mentioned, you are looking for hints, and you're researching, you're maybe reading documentation, you may watch some online tutorials. So on average, if we are reading and watching something in theory, the retention rate is pretty low. It's definitely below 10%, and in many cases below 5% even. But on the other hand, if we are watching a demo, when somebody shows us how to do something, the retention rate goes up significantly, and it's a lot better because now we have a practical example on how to apply that theory in practice. So when you're evaluating learning resources, keep an eye out for that. Ideally, you have a mixture of those. It's not just theory that's presented to you, but there are some practical examples, and that can be in a book or a blog, something you can try to explore, which helps you retain the things that you learned and benefit from it later on. And then we come to the third thing, and the best is actually to be part of an interactive workshop environment, which has the best retention. It's proven. It's almost as good as having the computer directly connected to your brain and inputting the information there. And I'm joking, of course, because we don't have that yet. even though some companies are working on having some kind of symbols. Of course, the most important of all is the programming language. If you are interested in seeing the results of your work immediately and interact with it, for example, in a mobile app or in a web page, then your interest may be on the front end, the direct user interface, basically. And if you want to learn something in that area, the ruling language there is really JavaScript, and there are some variations of it, TypeScript. Okay, what happens if you have more of a machine learning or data science focus? Maybe you really want to zero in on that area, and the ruling language